How did you get into heroin? Like, how does one? I'm in like.
I was at a job fair and they were like, "Do you want to be a heroin addict?"
A little taste of dope.
Yeah. How did I get into it? I mean, it started with just like other drugs, like, you know, weed, drinking, ecstasy, whatever pills I could get my hands on. And then I think with like doing a lot of uppers, it was like it started to really, like my come downs would get really bad. It was kind of affecting my mental health. I was getting more depressed.
How old were you at the time?
I mean, I started like trying stuff at like 14. I was probably using like addictively around 15.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, not like as bad as when I was like a full-blown junkie, but like, you know, I would say that the constant of like wanting to do more and more, and it kind of...
Is that a Turkish thing, or is it like... Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, so it was just the uppers were really like... I was having bad like side effects, and then when I found like Oxycontin and like opiates, I was like, oh, you don't have a come down, like no downsides. But I didn't know that there's like, you get dope sick and stuff.
What age did you start doing Oxy?
Probably like 17, and then, yeah, I think around 17, and then like 18, it was like addictively, 17, 18 addictively, and then like that's where it started. I started kind of like, tried smoking heroin, and then I tried like shooting it Dilaudid, and then it kind
Everybody always smokes it and snorts it first, right? It's like, this isn't that bad if we just snort it.
Yes, but also, so at the time I was living in Arizona, and there the heroin was good enough that you could smoke it or snort it, but in Washington it was this like sludgy,
the black tar.
Yeah, but like really like you had to do like you could smoke so much of it and it wouldn't get you high. You like literally had to shoot it up. So like when I would come and visit here,
did you just look down on all the people up here? Like, you guys don't even know what heroin is.
Kind of. I feel like I was kind of smug about it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, the heroin in Arizona is so great. Like,
where in Arizona were you?
Tempe. I went to ASU.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And you started fucking doing heroin at ASU?
Yes.
My brother went to ASU. He did chemical engineering.
Maybe he made my heroin.
Yeah, he might have. But sorry, that was super stupid. He's gonna hate that. So, how did where was it at a party? It just seems like not really a party drug. Like, I've always been curious where people.
Yeah, it definitely was not at a party. I like fully seeked it out because it's like once you're already addicted to opiates, you know how like it's like I was smoking Oxycontin and it just like.
How do you smoke Oxy?
You want me to explain? I guess you can't do it anymore, so I could explain it.
Yeah, no, the most I've ever done, like I've done a lot of pills, but like Roxaset was, my buddy came across some in college and we took it. And it was really good. Like, it was fucking... I've never taken it again. It was just that one time. But he had a roommate that was from Africa, and we wanted to fuck with him. So we filled up we went to Walmart and bought like 200 of those like 7-cent goldfish.
Yeah.
And filled up his bathtub, his sink, and his toilet with goldfish. And he came home. He's like, "What? What's this going on in my bathroom?" And we're like, "Bashir, like, did you close the drain?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Fish swim up in the drain. If you don't, in America, fish." And we were so high on those pills, but like 200 goldfish died in the making of that story.
And one man is still afraid to not shut his drain because he thinks goldfish.
It wasn't my idea. I didn't even pay for them. I just was like. You get so faded on those pills.
I mean, it's like a super common side effect. You take the pills, you end up telling somebody that goldfish come up with their drain. It's like pretty standard.
Yeah. No, middle of the road. But okay, I've only taken that orally. I got super itchy too. Like,
yeah.
What do you do with it was like the 30 milligram pills, right?
Yeah.
How much were they? Like $80 or something? They were expensive.
The Roxys are 30 milligrams. These were 80 milligrams. Okay. And they were like, they started at like, I want to say like $60. Then they made it so you couldn't smoke them anymore. So the ones that you still could were like 80, 100, whatever.
Jesus.
But I had stopped doing it by the time that. But it was like, you know, you with any drug, it's like your tolerance builds up and you're like looking for it. It doesn't hit you the same way that it did when you first started doing it. So I think I was just like smoking it for a while. And then it was like, okay, I'm having to buy a lot to get high, and like it's not giving me the high it used to. So I like.
Were you getting like fucking constipated too?
Yeah. I
remember any pain medication, it like just shuts everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a brutal. And with heroin, right? Mm-hmm. I know somebody that did that a lot, and like it's just this horrible cycle of that.
Yeah. I mean, I had a pretty good. I guess I'll say this to the public. I had a pretty good routine where like I would wake up dope sick, I would try to poop then I would get high. So like it wasn't, but I know people like where they literally had like their partners dig poop out of, like it gets crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. There's like some horror stories with that
God
stuff.
damn. Yeah. This is the part of it that like, I know heroin's super glamorous and I don't like, I really didn't know how to like introduce these topics because like I'm not sensitive to this stuff because I've been in so many like 12-step things, but I know I have a few people that are close to me that got into stuff like this, and it's dark, but what is surprising to me is like a lot of times someone in active addiction with this drug in particular lives a very like kind of like you have a routine, like you are living your life while doing this versus I would just think someone on heroin, all they do is like lay around in bed all day.
Yes and no. I think my brain is like.
I mean, you were no chemical engineer when you were doing it.
No. Like I could go to school, like I could manage school. Once it was time to like get a job, then like I could not show up to a job. That was like really difficult. But
so you were a senior when you were doing this, or how?
No, I started like I would say my freshman year. I like tried it, like just dabbled a little bit. Then like sophomore year, it was really going into like every time I would go to Washington, I'd be shooting up. Every time I was.
You were already shooting up then?
Yeah, not in college, not like sophomore in college. It's like 19.
It's still quite young. Okay.
Again, I'm like desensitized from 12-step stuff because it's like people start shooting up when they're 10 years old, and I'm like, I'm a late bloomer.
I thought you like had. I just was hoping for you that you had like a decent run where it was just the like Oxy, and then like I don't know.
No, it's about 2 years with Oxy. And
spring
then like
semester senior year. That's when you mailed it.
Well, the weird thing is, too, like, when I started shooting up, like, I convinced myself it was, like, better for me because my cough was going away and, like, it wasn't all of these, like, it just seemed like I was healthier. I wasn't, like, because, like, OxyContin was so expensive, so I wasn't, like, pawning my shit and getting into, like, as much trouble. But, no, it was definitely worse in the long run.
I've heard it might be just something I heard, but that, like, heroin is actually pretty clean drug to like go in and out of your body. Like it's compared to some of the other things that you can be addicted to, like at that level, it's no crack, it's no meth.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty natural, and I'm not saying everyone should go do heroin.
It's like the Myers soap of hardcore drugs.
Yeah, it's biodegradable, so great. Well, and then shooting it up is actually like a pretty clean way to do it. However, you're not a nurse, so it's like the infection. You can like it.
Where'd you do it? Show the camera.
Like my arms, and if those weren't working, then my neck sometimes.
Why? What's with like the toes and shit? Why do people do that?
I think they run out of veins. I've never been able to successfully do that. I don't know if it's just because I have really tiny veins already, or like what. But it's.
Did you have to use a belt?
I would just use like a hair tie.
Scrunchie.
Yeah. This is funny because anytime I've been like on something about my addiction, it's like such a serious dark thing, but like I'm laughing about it, and then I remember like, oh, it's not funny to everyone. So it's nice to be in a
I mean, I've been around so much of it too that I was like, I think a lot of people don't get dark humor like, unless you've been to those dark places in life.
Yeah, it feels like, why are you like making light of it? But like, if you've been there, you're like, well,
you're either
like,
gonna cry or you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
Like, and I think something happens when you go those places. It like rewires your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
To where like you gotta find the funny in this because it's so fucked up.
For sure. And like, I think that is like the survival too, is like when I was in my addiction, I was like, if I don't laugh at this, I'm gonna like blow my brains out. Like like it was like a way to like keep my head above water for just a little bit, is like laughing at that type of stuff.
It's crazy.
I just make the waves, I don't write them. I can hear the lyrics in my spirit as I write them. Why you wanna walk and talk just like them? I can't get caught up in all the hype and the excitement. I just make the waves, I don't write them. I can hear the lyrics in my spirit as I write them. Why you wanna walk and talk just like them? I can't get caught up in all the hype and the excitement.